replaced. The Americans lose the carrier Yorktown, 150 planes, and 300 dead. The victory is marked by incredible bravery and self-sacrifice. The Battle of Midway is the turning point of the war in the Pacific. The Americans will make the next move at a place called Guadalcanal. The 1st Marine Division lands on Guadalcanal unopposed and seizes the vital airstrip they name Henderson Field. The Marines' only support is a handful of fighters and dive bombers known as the Cactus Air Force.
Henderson Field was coming under attack. We had cruisers coming down, we had battle wagons shelling the fields at night, and we were in dire straits. We had to fly fuel and food in, or bring it in, I should say, by specially converted destroyers at night and some by submarines. So we didn't really have control of much, maybe a square mile. And that's all we owned.
They surrounded us on 3 sides, and the ocean was on the other side. And then just to give us a real working over, the enemy fleet came in there on October 12th, 1942, and just parked out there and just kept shelling us. They started sometime after 9 o'clock in the evening, and the shelling went on all night till about 4 a.m. the next morning, just firing broadside right into our area.
One night we destroyed the runway by bombing it from our aircraft carrier. So the next day we expected that the Americans would not be able to take off. We thought when we went there would be no Americans, but actually when we got there were so many Americans. We flew closer and we could see that the runway was already repaired.
We got off and we really gave them a reception. Every one of the suckers that came around there, they knew we were there. And not only in the air, but our men on the ground really gave them a reception. And that's what it took all the time. Everybody was dedicated to doing their job there at Guadalcanal, I'll tell you that.
Joe Foss's first kill over Guadalcanal is almost his last.
They really salted me. As I recall, that's the one time I think they said there were 250 some holes in my airplane. And right then the thought went through my mind, why did you ever leave the farm?
Joe Foss will go on to receive the Medal of Honor for his valor in the Pacific.
All that time we were told that the American pilots were weak. They protected their lives. So in an emergency they would fly away. That was what we were told. However, in actual battles they were the opposite. They were very brave. That surprised me a lot.
From recently captured Henderson Field on Guadalcanal, the Americans launch bomber strikes on the Japanese-held islands of Bougainville and Rabaul. Japanese pilots must now contend with the heavily armed B-24 and B-17 bombers, as well as their fighter escorts.
The enemy was armed with so many machine guns, they looked like porcupines. I had to attack while flying through a hail of bullets. I always began my attack by getting above them, and then began firing from front. My attacks were deeply angled at 80 degrees. If I didn't get them the first time, I dove under the formation and attacked again. During one of these attacks, I was hit twice in my body, here and here, and couldn't make it back to my base and had to make an emergency landing.
Saburo Sakai. On June 9, 1942, while on his way to 64 kills, Sakai bounces a formation of American medium bombers headed for Rabaul. He is later led to believe that Reserve Lieutenant Commander Lyndon B. Johnson was aboard one of the B-26 Marauders as an observer.
I attacked the B-26s, 1, 2, 3 planes. When they were coming towards me, I shot. My bullets hit one of the planes, and its bombs exploded.
爆弾に当たりましてバーンっていったんですね。それで私はその中をピーッと抜けてガガガガーンって。
I flew back through the smoke. The Americans thought that we collided. I looked back. I attacked another plane, but there were clouds, and my plane and the plane I attacked flew into the clouds together. That was the plane Lyndon Johnson was
そ
in.
れがリンドン・ジョンソンが乗っていて、もう穴だらけになってポートモレスにデーッと滑り込んだんです。だからよくアメリカに私が行きますときに
His plane had a lot of bullet holes, but they managed to land. Each time I went to America, I was asked, why didn't you shoot at Johnson's plane first and not the other one? If I hit that plane, there would have been no President Johnson.
Sakai may or may not have changed world history, but his own nation's destiny is beginning its long slide to destruction and defeat. The Japanese fight an enemy that grows stronger by the day. Their bases are bombed from the air, retaken from the sea, and denied provisions by American submarines. The island-hopping campaign begins. General MacArthur decides to bypass Rabaul. It will be cut off and destroyed from the air. The relentless bombing campaign lasts more than a year. Takeo Tanemitsu shared the hell that was Rabaul.
We were tired. Fighter pilots flew 3 or 4 times a day. We attacked several times. Gradually, we were losing weight. We received an injection of dextrose for our nutrition, but our appetite became less and less. Pilots had the most severe diarrhea. Our health conditions were very bad. For example, we were told that our meals were ready and they were brought to us. A bowl of rice was brought to me, but